Hello there, we're going to play Battle for Armageddon, and we are moving on to turn 4, which heralds the arrival of the Space Marines. We will start by grabbing some strategy cards and special cards. There you go, Hissy, there's yours. And for the Imperium, again, we've got to pick building again, haven't we? We need more units, and then what do we think? Yeah, just movement and combat, same as the last 2 rounds. Our new special card is Supply Shuttle. A flotilla of specially adapted space shuttles deliver enough supplies to save your troops from starvation. So what does this do? It means that we can avoid being out of supply. Talking of which, I missed a trick in the last round, didn't I? We had all the evil sons in the corner here, and I had surrounded them with hive gangs and rough riders. All I had to do was nothing, and the orcs would have been out of supply and all wiped out. Oh well, I will blame Commissar Yarrick for that mistake. The supply rule means that actually Infernus is quite vulnerable, because all the orcs have to do is sit in this region and starve them out. Anyway, let's see who's going first. Hissy, you're the black die, and you have the initiative. Okay, what have you got for us? Building and movement. Right, the orcs control 3 smoking ruins, which means you still only get 1 counter, Hissy. What do you want, and where do you want it? Alright, Hissy's got 3 choices for placement. They can start over here in the jungle, but they'd have a way to trek, or in a garrisoned smoking ruins, which means over here in Tartarus, or up here at Hades. We can't use this smoking ruin because there's already 3 counters there. Again, I think we're going to have knobs. They're just really good all-rounders, strong and fast. So we'll put them up there with the other knobs. Alright, movement. I don't think the Evil Sons have enough counters here to do a proper siege of Infernus. So let's garrison there. Oh, we do want to see if you want to use any special cards this turn, don't we, Hissy? So this one on a 4, 5 or 6. Yeah. Here we go. Wild boys from the last spring whelping reach maturity. They flock to your banner to earn their first scars. So actually this adds more counters to that build phase. Let's just go back in time a moment. Yeah, Hissy, you can have another 9 counters. Alright, here's what Hissy has picked. A lot of fast units, because most of them are going to have to come on from the jungle. Right, so we'll have the Evil Sun knobs down here at Tartarus. Alright, that ought to do it. Let's get all the orcs moved. Right, the Evil Suns are not going to be cut off this time. I think we'll reassess what we did here. Let's have 1 Gretchen go there, and then yeah, we'll try the siege. And then one of these orc hordes can come on this factory. Boom, boom. Yeah, ash wastes and fast units do not mix. I'd like to do that, but I can't. I need to leave 1 unit of knobs behind. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll do that. And then these battle wagons. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I think that's everyone moved. So supply is checked at the end of each of these strategy cards. So the orcs will check their supply now, and they are fine this time. So we'll move on to the Imperium, and we know their first card is building and movement. Now they'll check for supply after they finish that, and Commissar Yarrick is in trouble. There's basically a 3 in 6 chance that this entire stack will be wiped out. And actually, I've just checked the rules, and the fortifications help as well. It gives an extra saving throw for being out of supply. So One way or another, I'm sure they'll be okay. Okay, we've got 14 build points. Let's start up the factories and start producing guns and bullets and horses, I guess. Alright, here's what we've got. Might be a bit late to start building fortifications and tanks since they take 3 turns to arrive, but we'll do it anyway. Some hive gangs. Imperial Guard. We're getting into the dregs now. We can see how the 8th and 9th Army have lower stats compared to these Premier Imperial Guard units. Okay, here we go. So we'll move the Space Marines into the drop pods. Shifty everything along. Let's see what we're getting. Alright, well, we want to fortify Acheron. This factory. Well, Hell's Reach definitely needs some Imperial Guard support, and we can have another army in this stack at Infernus, I think. Yeah, there's only the Hive Defense and the Hive Gangs that are contributing to the limiter 3 there, so there you go, have some more men. And then Hive Gangs at Acheron and this factory. And then the remaining units, we need to do something about these evil suns, so I think we'll have the tanks and the Rough Riders and the Hive Gangs appearing at this factory. Right, let's drop the Space Marines. I'm trying to think if there's something clever I can do to block off the Orcs from their supply. Like, if I drop the Space Marines like this... No, that's not going to work, is it? Or is it? Let's try it. So I'm going to put them there. Dante, you can go with the Ultramarines. Right, move the 1st Tank Division here. And then from this factory, Hive Gangs, the Rough Riders, 1, 2, 3, and the tanks, 1, 2. Does that cut these Orcs off? No, they can still draw a line there, but we've got more units we can move. Actually, this factory counts as an Imperial counter, so that would block the Orc supply route. Let's double down on it though, and do this. I'm not sure. It's spread pretty thin, and all the Orcs have to do is punch one hole in this line and they'll be alright. We'll go with that though and we'll see what happens. Alright, that's the end of the phase, so let's check for supply. So Infernus, you're cut off. So on a 1 to a 3, you're gonna starve. You're okay. So we don't need to use the supply shuttle yet. Okay, back over to Hissy. What have you got for us? Combat and movement. Alright, let's have a go at Infernus with the Goth Orc Horde. Attack 16 against defense 26, so that will be the 1 to 2 column. So, yeah, the Goths need to really roll a 5 or a 6 here. They did it. So the Goths will lose an Orc Horde. The Imperial forces need to lose, I guess, the Hive Defense. It doesn't matter because the survivors need to retreat and there's nowhere to go. So they're gone. And Hell's Reach is a smoking pile. And we lose 2 build points. I think the Orcs have won. Well, let's play it through to the end anyway. They need to punch a hole in a line of the Imperial forces somewhere. Probably these Hive Gangs are the weak point. So the Gargants and the Orc Horde will attack. It's 4 to 1 over a river. 3-2, that's an exchange. Hive Gangs are smooched, and we lose the Orc Horde. Right, these knobs are going to have a go at the Blood Angels. So it's 12 against 7, so 1 to 1 over a river. The chances aren't good, but they want to fight. That's 3. Attacker stopped. Let's have a big tank fight. These battle wagons are going to attack the 1st Tank Division. 6 against 5. It's 1 to 1. Oh dear. Attacker routed. Okay. Right, battle wagons and Gretchen against the 4th Imperial Guard army in those ash wastes there. It's 1 to 1. Another attacker routed. We'll lose some Gretchen, and yeah, you two need to withdraw. Yeah, don't think it matters. Really, where? There we go. Alright, come on, Hissy, you can't fail this one. Gargants against Rough Riders. Come on, this is going to be 20 against 2. So, yeah. That's the third one in a row. It doesn't matter too much, though. With those odds, it's Defender routed, even on a roll of a 1. So, those Rough Riders are gone. Alright, these Evil Sun Knobs will have this unit attack the factory. 6 to 1. Yep, that's blown up. We'll have the knobs move in. Why not? Imperium loses a build point. Alright, I think we'll leave the combat there. So the Orcs can now move. Space Marines are fast, so the Orcs do not want them to cut off the Hellsreach Peninsula, so we need some kind of defensive line, right? Yeah, that's not enough. The combination of the tanks and the Space Marines can still cut the Orcs off, so they're going to have to move some of these Evil Suns units into the way. Bikers. Actually, the Orcs do not need to worry about supply. All they have to do is hold on to the 3 hives they've captured until the end of the turn. They don't have to worry about supply, because supply is checked at the end of their strategy card, which is, well, that's the last strategy card for this turn. Yeah, all they have to do is defend these 3 hives. So we're actually going to leave those biker boys there. Yeah, let's stack up the Bad Moons in that hive. We just need these units to get in the way. Alright, that's it for the Orcs. We check their supply routes, and they can take a long path around there to the jungle, so everyone there is alright. And of course the Imperials' new strategy card is Movement and Combat. Is there anything they can do? Right, there's a small chance that these hive gangs can maybe push these Orcs away from those smoking ruins. What are the odds, though? It's 2 to 6. Yeah, they would have had to have rolled a 6 there, so attacker routed, the hive gangs are gone. Similar situation at the Hades hive. I can only attack with these hive gangs, and they would have no chance. These Imperial Guard units are too slow to help out. There might be something we can do at Hellsreach. Let's move these tanks in. Wait, that's not going to work, is it? I can't move an attack with the tanks and then move an attack with the Space Marines. All the movement has to happen at once. What can I do? Let's get across the river. Best I can do is destroy some of these Goths, and then what? Alright, well, the Space Marines didn't come all this way to just sit around doing nothing, so they're going to attack the Orcs anyway. It's 21 against 9, I think. Yeah. The odds are 2 to 1. 6, that'll do. That'll be DR, Defender routed. So the cannon fodder, Gretchen, perish. The remaining Orcs move across the Hellsreach River. Space Marines can move in. But that's it, they're done. And we'll have the tanks take on the Gargants across the Stygies River. It's 1 to 1. 3 is attacker stopped. And some tanks go boom. Yeah, end of turn 4, and that's it. It's an Orc victory. They control 3 hives. Well done, Hissy. Here's the actual timeline. On turn 4, historically, in quotes, the Imperial lines were struggling with Orcs breaking through. It's kind of what's happened here, but in turn 5, the Imperials push back for an eventual Orc defeat. Oh, let's check to see how Yarrick's doing here with this siege. So they would have failed the first siege roll. They have fortifications, which they pass. Still, I think Yarrick's in trouble. One more turn and the Imperium would have gotten more Imperial Guard, Rough Riders, tanks, and the Titan Legion. Maybe the fortifications not so helpful at this point. So despite the Orcs rolling a lot of ones for their combat, some very, very unfortunate combat, they still won. I think this card helped, the Here We Go, which got them a whole bunch of extra counters. But yeah, there we go, that's the battle for Armageddon. I've also got these counters from an old white dwarf, which I've never played with. We've got Chaos. Might try that at some point. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I will see you next time.